It's Thursday, and you know what that means. Welcome to Max Wrestling 471. This is your captain speaking. He is El Jefe, and we're joined by the man called Beer.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all well.
Sure, I was until I looked at your shoulder.
Champion. La champion.
All right. But you know what? That one's limited edition right there.
I can't say
right.
anything.
That's I don't even know what material. It's like a fake leather, Stone Cold version of the Winged Eagle.
Called vintage, baby.
Oh, don't worry. I'm saving up for something very special.
Hey.
What's her name?
Hey.
Wow. All
How
right.
you doing?
Well, all I can say after this past week is that stings and thank you, Sting.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Sting.
Yeah. Coming up tonight, we go back and look at the awesome show that was Revolution, and we bid farewell to the icon, Sting. The blockbuster, quote unquote, WrestleMania tag match is official, and it comes with massive stakes. After failing to defeat Travis last week and getting fired from the MDO, we get to hear from that punk Chris Reid. Also, we get to hear from the lawyer Chad Malcolm as he gives the official ruling on last week's TV title situation after I cashed in on Travis. You're not walking Anderson. So make sure you subscribe right here on YouTube. Follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, got to plug the Apple. And head on over to the Weebly website, maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com for all your links and more.
Yeah, but everywhere you can find a podcast, and I haven't done this for a while, and it's going to pop mic. Even on Pod Bay.
I saw Podbean yesterday. Literally.
Yeah, we're on
Google's.
Podbean too. Anything with a pod in it, you can find Max Wrestling. So before we begin, I would just like to apologize for the level of violence shown in last week's main event at Leap of Faith. We've never seen that side of Cypher before, nor have we seen the Kingpin in such a vulnerable state. Not even when the Demoness ripped his tongue out. But let me assure you, it was not a snuff film. The Kingpin is very much alive, but I don't know if or when he will fully recover from the events that took place last week.
Brutal.
So, to start the show, no hot topics this week. We're just going to kick it off. First of all, by paying our respects to the icon Sting, and then, of course, we're going to get into Revolution and a brand new look for Dynamite later on, as Moses will recap last night. So, what do you want to talk about?
So, what do you want to talk about?
Gotta talk about Revolution. The show was just from start to finish. It was just incredible. I truly believe the last 2 hours of that show was some of the best wrestling I think I've seen for years. It was just because you had Ospreay, you had the tag team title match.
Yeah.
Could you ask for any better?
Kingston and Bryan killed too. Don't fucking downplay that one.
Oh yeah, people do downplay Kingston, but
Stop it.
obviously I couldn't stay up for it because I was working the next day. So the first thing I did the next morning was watch Sting's match. Then I got home and watched the rest of the pay-per-view.
Nope, I total respect, baby. Did you get so the entrance? I gotta ask you about the entrance then.
Oh, with the 3 Stings?
That was great.
Oh my goodness. So
Great.
I popped because since his debut, I've been begging, and I think I've even said it on Max a bazillion times. Give me Surfer Sting one time. One time.
You did.
And when his son came out, who's a streamer, by the way.
Yeah.
Came out in the Surfer gimmick, I was like, I fucking went bananas. But I was like, hey, dude, Sting's in great shape. And I was like, wait a minute. Kind of old, but
The son that was Surfer Sting looked just like him.
just like him, especially back in the Surfer Sting era. And then his other son, which, believe it or not, was a former tight end for, I want to say, Kansas State, something like that. I think Kansas State. Which, trust me, that's going to put him right back on that football radar if he doesn't get into wrestling, especially after that Stinger splash. But the entrance was fantastic. The video package.
Oh, Seek and Destroy too. I popped.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Search and Destroy. Which, by the way, for those of you who and I said that in the TSK episode, it's gonna. If you hope you probably already watched that before you watch this, because it's gonna drop before this. So cheap plug for the TSK, but it's not his WCW theme. It was his NWA theme. It was the old school NWA. So back when like NWA used to be able to get away with using actual music as their theme. Like I want to say like Legion of Doom had, I want to say it was like War Pigs. They had a Black Sabbath song, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say War Pigs was it.
Oh, check that out, actually.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Also, Metallica's not cheap.
No.
There's a reason that WWE have used him sparingly. I think it was 2003 they used Saint Anger, and even though it's like probably their saltiest album for most fans, I popped because I was like, holy shit, WWE's is using Metallica.
Yeah, it's Metallica.
Wasn't it Mania 28? Was it for the Hell in the Cell?
Yeah. When they started making more money, they was using a lot more Metallica. Also, there was one. Hunt You Down was Shawn Michaels Jericho, I think.
I think so. That's
and then didn't they use a clip for Taker's final match, The Last Ride or whatever?
Yeah.
All Nightmare Long was No Mercy 2008, and then you had Taker.
Oh, that was Hunt You Down All Nightmare Long. That was the name of the song.
Song was insane.
But yeah, the match was insane. I think we said last week, it's a tornado tag, so it's got to be no DQ. Boy, was it!
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah, at no DQ. I don't think we expected that much glass.
Sting went through glass.
Sting went through glass. Darby sure as fuck went through glass.
It's still playing in my head, just the sheer. And then here's the crazy part. So, 12-foot ladder, which looks bigger, by the way. Looks bigger. Yeah. I don't give. Look like a 15-foot motherfucker to me.
And it was in the ring to the outside, so even higher.
That's an additional 4 feet.
Yeah.
So 16-foot drop onto, hey, guess what? A fucking high school wrestling mat and through some glass. And hey, let's put some chairs right in the middle of it. Because go fuck yourself. That's why.
Because Darby's nuts.
I worry about it.
Nuts is an understatement.
I just don't want him getting severely injured. How old is he? He's still quite young. He's about 28, 29.
Oh, he's still in his 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
say 28, right?
Towards his 40s. Bit concerning. But that's his style of wrestling, and we gotta love it.
That's his style of life. He's about to go climb Mount Everest, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and he's talking about never coming back.
Dude, like, can you, like, I was about to say, like, could you not, bro? Like, we're over here, like, oh, he's gonna go climb Mount Everest. I may not come back. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Like, now we're worried, bro.
Yeah, because he genuinely sounded worried.
And give a shout out as well to the Young Bucks for giving Sting the win.
Oh no, yeah, because Sting wanted to lose, like we said last week. He's old school. He's probably going to go out on his back, but everybody else talked him out of it.
Yeah, apparently they sat him down and was like, "Dude,
you gotta
win. You gotta win." And he was like, "But the old, hey, you gotta win."
And watching it, I think it was the right call because obviously we had the feel good moment at the end with his speech, getting cued out, which was hilarious. With the closing credits. Hold on, I'm getting cues.
It's great. I was like, what?
Watching that live, I probably would have been like, what the fuck? They're going to cut it there. But because I watched it the next morning, I knew that there was an extra bit that they put online, so I wasn't mad about it. But yeah, Sting went through glass too. Did he go through a table as well? He took some bumps basically for his last match. He was like, if I'm going out, I'm going out in style.
He no-sold the table spot.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, it was he no-sold the table spot. I want to say it was the they call it the TK driver now, not the Meltzer driver anymore. Now it's the TK driver. I think he kicked out at 1 on that one.
Yeah.
So he did a whole lot of a whole lot of not kicking out, but the 2-on-1 never really felt like 2-on-1 because Sting could hold his own. And I want to thank Beer for bringing up the Young Bucks because the reality is this was one of those matches where all the naysayers have to shut the hell up because they don't know how to tell a story.
Oh, they do.
Sting refuses to die. They redid the whole fucking Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair. I don't love. He's like, what did he say? He says,
we're not sorry and we hate you.
That's right. We're not sorry. We hate you. And just, you know what I mean? And he fucking booted. He comes right out of it, and it's just they were telling such a great story. All while fucking Darby's damn near bleeding to death on the outside.
Yeah, after that glass spot, Darby was pretty much out of the match for like 10 minutes, I think, maybe more. And then he just comes in for the coffin drop at the end.
Felt way more. It did feel more. It probably was about 10 minutes, but did feel way longer. Yeah. And it hits a bloody coffin drop. So, here you go. Have some
AIDS. There was like a massive, like, splodge of blood on his shoulder. And then he hit the coffin drop and it was gone. Yeah. Like all that blood just wiped off on whichever bucket was.
My question is how many stitches?
I think it was less than 20 from what I read.
Yeah, he said they only got like. Yeah, he said he only got like 12 because most of them were just cuts.
Jesus.
But then again, apparently, and then even because Kyle was there in attendance because he's a madman like that, spend big money. But apparently, people got hit with glass in the front.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
And they were bitching.
They were bitching, and then we saw at AEW obviously knew this was coming, so they put like this disclaimer up at the start of the show saying, "Hey, if you're in the way, you're in the way."
Hey,
basically. But like, if you're in the front row of a wrestling match, especially in a company where there's going to be hardcore spots, you should kind of expect stuff to go on.
Okay, well here, and for those that don't know, for future rule of thumb, if you ever go to a wrestling show, whether it be indie or big time, if you ever see a pane of glass,
fucking run.
Don't run, but just back up a good 6-7 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go sit in somebody's lap for a minute. You know what I'm talking about?
Didn't Brock Lesnar swing a car door at somebody?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he did.
Why did you bring? I can see it now.
Because when I saw people bitching about the glass, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, wait a minute, Brock Lesnar fucking launched a car door into the crowd.
Hurled a fucking car door into the crowd. He didn't like, hey, take this. He come out. He was like, he was like fucking, was it Zangief or whatever from fucking Street Fighter?
Yeah.
When he's tearing apart the car.
But people need to always realize there is mad shit always happens in wrestling, so just expect it.
Yeah, especially with Darby too. I've also seen people bitching. Obviously, like they bitch every time Darby does something like this. Like, oh, it's stupid, it's pointless. You fucking loved it when Mick Foley did it. Shut up.
Hey, I don't remember anybody doing anything. Yeah, exactly. I was like, remember when Mick Foley fucking ran through, or the table of fire?
Yeah.
The whole, God, yeah. How many barbed wire incidents did he have?
Well, he lost half his ear on barbed wire. I saw like somebody said, oh, well, all of Mick Foley's shit meant something. Darby's meant nothing. I'm like, okay. So what was the point of Mick getting thrown off the cell? Shock value. Okay. So what was the point of Darby? Shock value. Exactly.
Ta-da.
Darby's just a pint-sized Mick Foley.
Oh, that's for a pint size for sure.
You've seen it's too like obviously people going off the cell, and obviously Darby stunned. Like, just gotta expect it. One's there.
It's 21st century hardcore wrestling, and trust me, there's crazier shit going on in much smaller indie companies.
Oh yeah, if you fucking thought this shit was bad, go watch like a GC dub show in house. Fucking, they go through fucking so many cases of light tubes. It's like, oh goddamn, they're relighting the place. No, they are not.
Every DIY store in the fucking country. Oh shit, the wrestlers are back.
Yep, wrestlers are in town, and now goes our fucking
50 packets of light tubes. Fuck's sakes. Place an order.
Yep.
But aside from the main event, of course, like you said, the pay-per-view was great from top to bottom. I don't think anything was. I was initially upset by the world title booking because we all thought it was Swerve's time, but from last night they're obviously continuing with Swerve and Joe, so that's fine.
Yeah, it felt like it was writing on the wall though. The second we saw Wardlow win.
Yeah.
Which then again, I was like, you couldn't really, point who was gonna win. It was like it's got to be Wardlow, right? It's got to be Wardlow. Well, yeah, but now my question is like, so Wardlow's gonna have to fucking just lose again, right?
This is a very bold prediction, but is MJF close to being cleared?
I fucking have no
I
idea.
heard it was quite a while he was out for MJF. Someone said it was actually up to a year, but I can't see it being up to a year.
Because
No,
my
he was
bold prediction was.
he was supposed to be out for like 9 months.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I think he'll
Okay.
be back in time for All In. Obviously, when we go.
Well, hopefully. But that was going to be my bold prediction. Like, obviously, the whole thing is if Wardlow wins the world title, he's got to give it to Adam Cole. Unless, of course, MJF shows up and stops the whole thing. But I don't know how we get now from the situation where Wardlow is against Joe. But then we got to finish this thing with Joe and Swerve should be the next world champion. So, TK, you booked yourself into a corner again, bud.
I mean, I've been trying my damnedest to try to figure this out. And the only way I can do this is you screw over Samoa Joe, obviously, because you know what I mean, the Undisputed Kingdom. Wardlow wins the belt. The next pay-per-view is what, Dynasty, which is supposed to be at the end of April, something like that. So it's like 5 weeks away. So then you set up for possibly, no, I don't want to go back-to-back triple threats. It's either they're going to try to fuck Joe out of the title and fail, which is likely, or they're going to have to win it and figure out a different route for Swerve, which I get. You're right. It's a fucking corner. You see what I mean? Like every piece of the puzzle I'm trying to go through, every part of the maze or whatever, there's a gap. There's no gap. Can't go.
No.
Ridiculous.
Damn you, Swerve, for being so popular.
It's too over right now.
No, goddamn Tony Khan for being stupid. You should have fucking got rid of the goddamn all-star extravaganza bullshit crapperino, whatever. Or again, you could, and I'm not saying like I have to be the smart guy and you should have went with my move, but I'm just saying I picked Jericho in our predictions. And the reason I went with Chris Jericho was because think of somebody that could be a good enough name in a title defense that can take an L. Okay? Yeah, Brian Cage could have lost. But at the same time, maybe people want Brian Cage to not, keep getting fucking pushed downward. If Chris Jericho loses, it doesn't matter. Dante Martin loses, it doesn't matter. Well, that's not true. He's a young cat. You see what I mean?
But you don't expect him to win.
Exactly. It's one of those. But it's when you decided it had to be Wardlow, it was fuck. Because you could have left it alone. You could have left it alone, and Wardlow wouldn't have been a part of the fucking pin. He wouldn't have been, knocked out on the outside, whatever. You picked a new winner, and then you could build Wardlow as a muscle guy, as you're doing with these stupid squash matches. That shouldn't have happened on Dynamite. And all this other crap. Oh, not on Dynamite, but, shouldn't happen, period.
Yeah.
He should wrestle actual people.
Powerhouse Hobbs as well.
Hobbs is another one who keeps getting close. It's the meat guys. Meat guys get close and then they don't win.
Why don't they make them tag guys and put them in the tag team tournament?
Ooh.
I'm just saying. I mean, with all this, we don't know what to do with them. We don't know what to do with them. You're a fucking team. Congratulations. Call them the Meat Factory. I don't give a shit. There you go. I just sold them T-shirts. The Meat Factory.
Oh. I love the pacing of this pay-per-view too. Like usually when AEW does a big pay-per-view, it feels like it's going on forever. But this one was really well paced.
Super well. You did get like I said, that all-star bullshit match was a good breather. It was a great breather because it was a decent opener. I'm trying to remember what opened it again. It was the fucking tag match.
Yeah.
It was a tag match.
It was Cage and
that's
Darcy.
Right. So that one was a good one. I mean, it wasn't like the great.
Yeah, we also probably should have expected Cope to come back sooner rather than later because obviously Cage retained, and now we got the I Quit match next week. Not next week, week after.
Which felt, I don't want to say forced, but foreseen.
Yeah, you know what? The sooner this feud's over with, the better. I enjoyed it to begin with, but I hate saying that. I think Cope lost a little bit of steam, and the fact that it was just loss after loss against Cage. It's past its sell-by date. Also, like, we did have a title change, and it meant nothing. Cope won the title, Cage won the title right back, and we're back to square one.
No, but
there should have been no title change.
Yeah, exactly. Should have just been a fucking L and you just move on with life. But it's whatever. It sucks. I wanted Danny Garcia to win, you know what I mean? Get the belt off and move on from it. These guys don't have to have a belt to interchange in their fucking feud, but apparently TK feels differently. So
Oh yeah, he wants Copeland to win a title in Toronto, I guess.
Why?
Because Canada.
I'm a Canadian.
Probably trying to top what that match that Edge had against Copeland had against Sheamus in his last match in WWE.
Honestly, I think that was a fluke.
Bang, to be fair.
Yeah, his last run as Edge wasn't the greatest, so I think that match with Sheamus was a bit of a fluke.
I think the worst thing that they did with Edge was not put the belt on him at that WrestleMania. Was it 37?
Yeah,
37?
but Roman got a Roman.
Yeah, Roman got a Roman.
Was it 37 or 38? 37, I think, yeah, because
it was
38 was the unification with Brock, and then we had Cody Part 1. But yes, solid pay-per-view. Keep it up. Much different from the Revolution that I mentioned later on in the history segment, which was Revolution 2021 with the Sparklers. Yeah, we don't talk about that, but I'm gonna. All right. And also, like we said, the much rumored, and in fact, not even rumored, thrown in your face tag team match for WrestleMania is official. Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. If Rock and Roman win, it's Bloodline rules at WrestleMania, and if Cody and Seth win, all the Bloodline are banned from ringside on night 2.
The fuck is Bloodline rules?
Anything goes, I guess. Maybe he didn't specify, but I would imagine it's anything goes. But nobody can help Cody.
Yeah, Cody's fucked. Like,
I think that would be the plan. I think Roman and The Rock will win at night 1, and The Rock is going to screw Roman at night 2.
Oh, I think Rock's definitely turning on Roman on night 2. If it was going to be clean, though, I would rather it be Cody and Seth win, so that there's no excuses. It's just Cody and Roman one-on-one. But I've always liked the idea of Rock turning on Roman. I think that was been teased right from the get-go. So yeah, they've got to win night. Yeah, with the L.
Bang bang to the.
I noticed that at the beginning. I went, that doesn't look right. Couldn't The Rock actually do one finger?
Yeah, wait a minute. Rock's not that stupid.
The giveaways. A little Easter egg, so to speak.
And they may have hinted at it because it wasn't a fluke. Obviously, he did it again this week. And Heyman may or may not have noticed it. So there's a lot of layers to this story. And there's us thinking WWE forgot how to tell a story with this everlasting storyline. But of course, there is also rumors that Seth might turn on Cody, which please don't. I'm so done with this feud. I'm done with Roman's title reign. Please let it end. Enough's enough.
Please. Because if Cody doesn't end her at WrestleMania, I think following, I couldn't care if it's at SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or on a live event or NXT. It's just going to be worthless. It's the only way to end this story is WrestleMania 40. Anything else, I just couldn't give a shit. And
they've built it perfectly for that crowning moment. Anything else would feel cheap.
Exactly. Yeah, but SummerSlam, it'll be worthless because that's when Punk will be back.
Yeah. And it also wouldn't make sense for Seth to turn on Cody, especially on night 1, because then he's going to be heel versus heel with McIntyre, and McIntyre's whole character now is he's an obnoxious prick.
I fucking love it.
And he's playing it so well.
It is the best thing going in WWE right now.
He's fucking doing it on social media too.
Yeah, that's the best part of social media. The funniest thing is Seth's usually a real prick on social media.
Yeah, especially when the Bears are playing.
Gravy, right?
Someone brought up the old tweet that Seth posted from a couple of years ago about Ospreay, and he was like, we already got Ricochet. Like, Ricochet's no Will Ospreay.
No.
Hey, we once thought, right? We sure did once think. But hey, in all reality, that just shows you, like, I guess what staying in Japan truly does for you.
Yeah.
Being able to travel, being able to work everywhere. Attaboy. So I'm glad he's all elite and not, all entertainment.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get into that turn. So that's all we're going to talk about to kick off the show. Right now, we have some unfinished business from last week. Of course, Travis defeated Chris Reid. Depends how you want to look at it. Chris Reid got DQ'd for breaking a rule, but he also got choked out. So, did he get disqualified or did he lose by submission? Whichever way you want to look at it, Travis retained. But then Moses immediately cashed in his Iron Bank, which I'm sure a lot of people almost forgot he had or did forget that he had. Because clock's ticking on it, and it was gonna run out in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You cashed in knowing Travis wouldn't be there, so you thought it was gonna be an easy win. But of course, Travis anticipated this, and he sent a promo anyway, which messed up all the rules of the Iron Bank cash in. Because how can you cash in on a champion that's not even there? But wait, he sent in a promo anyway. Blah 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 blah. So, we do have a very good lawyer in our midst. His name is Chad Malcolm. He's gone over the contract, and let's find out. I don't know the result yet either, so let's take a look at the official ruling from the lawyer.
Yep. No, I get what you're saying. What do you think I've been doing for the past week? Do you think I've just been sitting around playing on the PlayStation and watching football? Wait, no, don't answer that. Anyway, yes. Look, last week, there was a cash-in. You know there was, right? It cashed in, you accepted. You went over, mate. There's nothing I can do. Although, you cashed in when the champ wasn't there. Technically, you did accept because you sent a promo back. Mate, look, there's nothing I can do. You know as well as anybody, if I could find a loophole in any contract, I will. But this contract has not got a loophole. And you know why? Because I wrote the contract to avoid situations like this. How was I meant to know that you would be the person to do this? Yeah. Well, look, there's nothing we can do. Moses is now the champion. You've now got other stuff to do at Promo Mania. But fine. I will make sure that the championship comes home at Promo Mania. Okay? I can't believe that you'd do this. You weren't even there. But you accepted the challenge. Therefore, we have a new champion. And unfortunately, you're going to have to learn from this mistake. And hopefully, a lot of other people can as well. Because we cannot be having issues like this just a few weeks before Promo Mania. This has literally changed everything. I know. Like I said, I'll bring the championship home, okay? I'll bring it home. El Jefe? We're going at it again, are we?
And just like that, that's how it's done, baby. That's how it's done. You answer the phone, you get told the business. This is what it is. You think you think you can outsmart me? You think that's like come on, me, come on.
Did I really lose the TV title for this?
You did, and it's glorious, isn't it? It's glorious.
300-day reign, and it ends by a technicality. But of course, you can't argue with fine print. It's right there in black and white, as the lawyer has pointed out. Moses is the new television champion. But of course, we will backdate it to last week. So congratulations on a week as TV champion.
Hey, all right.
I believe first ever 3-time TV champion. Yes, and one half of the goddamn tag team champions.
Back to being a double champ. Jesus Christ, I'm just back to the belt collector thing. Does not leave me, baby. Okay, you can leave the belts behind the belt, but the belt collector does not leave. You know what I'm saying? The moniker is there, baby.
You've now both taken the title. Well, actually, no. Travis a TV title. Well, you took the tag team titles from me anyway. But
there it is.
All right, let's before we recap this past week, let's go back through the annals of time. With this week in wrestling history. All right, this week in wrestling history, we're kicking it off on March 1st, 2015. Some old school Ring of Honor in Vegas for the 13th anniversary show. Matt Sydal defeated Cedric Alexander. Moose defeated Mark Briscoe. The Kingdoms, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven defeated The Addiction, which of course was Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. and Carl Anderson, who wrestled alone as Doc Gallows was beaten by the weather. Roderick Strong also defeated BJ Whitmer, ODB defeated Maria Kanellis, AJ Styles defeated ACH, Red Dragon defeated the Young Bucks to retain the tag team titles, Jay Lethal defeated Alberto Piece of Shit to retain the television championship, and in the main event, Jay Briscoe also retained the world championship as he defeated Hanson, Michael Elgin, and Tommaso Ciampa, a loaded card to say the least. March 1st, 2013, same date, different year, same company. Ring of Honor's 11th anniversary, this one was in Chicago, and this one did have title changes. But let's start with a 6-way match as ACH defeated Adam Page, Matt Sydal, QT Marshall, Silas Young, and Tadarius Thomas. Scum's Jimmy Jacobs and Steve Corino defeated Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander. BJ Whitmer defeated Charlie Haas in a no-holds-barred match by ref stoppage. The American Wolves defeated Chaos's Alex Kozlov and Rocky Romero. Michael Elgin defeated Roderick Strong in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Matt Taven defeated Adam Cole, to win the television championship. Red Dragon defeated the Briscoes to win the tag team championships, but Kevin Steen, retained his world championship in the main event as he defeated Jay Lethal. March 3rd, 2011, very appropriate this week that we talk some Stinger history. On an episode of Impact, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff celebrate gaining full kayfabe control of TNA as they fire Dixie Carter. However, they're later informed that the network has ordered Jeff Hardy to defend the TNA World title against a mystery opponent. That opponent, of course, turns out to be Sting, who defeats Hardy in 6 minutes. Of course, the rematch would take place at Victory Road, but we'll talk about that infamous incident next week. March 5th, 2017, I really don't want to talk about this fucking bullshit, but bad history is also history. At Fastlane, Bill Twatting Goldberg squashed Kevin fucking Owens in 22 bastard seconds to win the Universal Championship. Owens was the second ever Universal Champion, but the first with a real run since Balor dropped it the night after winning it, and this shit fucking booking brought an end to his first and so far only 188-day reign as a world champion in WWE, despite the fact that Owens and Jericho had the hottest feud going into WrestleMania. Goldberg went on to drop the title to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, while Owens defeated Jericho for the US Championship in a match that Vince McMahon infamously hated. Fuck you, Vince, it's your fault. And finally, March 7th, 2021, I can't shit on one company without shitting on the other. At AEW Revolution, perhaps their most embarrassing moment as the exploding barbed wire match went off like a flaccid penis. Kenny Omega defended the world title against Jon Moxley, but the explosion itself consisted of literal sparklers in the corners as Eddie Kingston dramatically tried to protect Mox in the ring. We still don't know exactly what happened or what kind of explosion that they were actually trying to do, but they sold it off as Omega had deliberately sabotaged the explosion to protect himself. And let's leave it there, because we started off high and it just got gradually worse through this week in history. So now, a quick word from our world champion, Cypher.
Oh yeah!
Hear ye, hear ye. Hi, I'm your Max World Champion, Cypher, and also the new Kingpin of Max Wrestling, and hell, might as well RWTE too. So, exciting news for today. It is officially March, and it's time to use the hashtag Max March Madness all March long, and be sure to join us on Max this week, next week, hell, all year round, to see the action go down. This has been your Kingpin, your World Champion Cypher. Oh, and to the Kingpin, rest in peace, bitch!
The road to Promomania is a treacherous one, full of twists and turns. We've already taken our leap of faith, and next year, we're taking a detour. Join us on Revolution Road next February.
Show must go on. The show must go on. Yeah. Inside my heart is breaking. My maker made me flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. This is your captain. He is LFA and he is Beer. Make sure you are liking and subscribed on YouTube. Follow.
Weebly.com where you can get all your information and a whole lot more. This guy's glitching out on me. Just want to make sure that he got
Is
up
that
there.
and on
But-
Mascaras again?
and on Mascaras is attempting to hack the show. Still to come after his third attempt at trying to win the television title last week and getting absolutely choked out by Travis Anderson. And I fire his ass out of the MDO. We get to hear from the punk, the loser, Chris Reid. But first, let's start with the recaps. No Rampage, no Collision because we covered Revolution and the boys did it more in depth. If you go check that one out, hopefully you did. But let's get into the Impact because you know you want to check this one now. Let's hit it in 3, 2, 1.
Impact in 3, 2, 1.
Alright then, last week's Impact of the Week. After No Surrender, Steve Macklin defeated Mike Bailey with a KIA, and after the match, he fired shots at Nick Nemeth, calling him a leech. Nemeth appeared on a Tron from Japan, showing off his new global championship, and he then challenges Macklin to sacrifice. Outside the arena, Gia Miller informs Kazarian that he is suspended for his attack on a referee at No Surrender, and Kazarian tells Gia to ask Santino if he really thinks this is the right thing to do. Jake Something defeated Laredo Kid with Into the Void. Backstage, Khan is Alan Angel's guest on the sound check, but they're soon interrupted by PCO, who brawls with Khan. Dina and AJ Francis defeat Joe Hendry and Rich Swann defeat Dina and AJ Francis as Hendry hits Dina with a standing ovation chokeslam. Gia Miller tries to interview Josh Alexander, but Dirty Dango interrupts and ends up with Josh hinting that he'll go to Santino to get him to book a match between them next week. Chris Sabin interrupts Mustafa Ali's inauguration ceremony and says he'd still be X Division champion if it wasn't for the Good Hands. The Good Hands retaliate by jumping Sabin as Kushida and Kevin Knight make the save. Ash by Elegance announces she will compete next week. A number one contenders match between Tasha Steelz and Xia Brookside ends in a double countout as they brawl outside the ring, but ever the fighting champion, Jordan Grace, announces she'll defend against them both. Moose addresses Crazy Steve ahead of their upcoming no DQ match, but in the main event, The System defeats Eric Young and ABC as Moose and Myers take out Young before Eddie and Myers double team Chris Bay for the win. Now, as we've reviewed Revolution, we're going straight to Travis Anderson to recap the smack.
The Bloodline open the show as the crowd drowns Roman in boos. He tries to leave, but they're joined by The Rock, who throws insults to the crowd about being crackheads and meth head Marys. Rock then challenges Cody, Rhodes, and Seth Rollins to a tag match with him and Roman on night 1 of WrestleMania, with high stakes that affect the night 2 main event of Cody versus Roman. In a tense moment to close the segment, Roman demands The Rock acknowledges him as tribal chief. Backstage with LA Knight looking for AJ Styles, Randy Orton catches Austin Theory and Grayson Waller laughing at Logan Paul, costing him the Elimination Chamber, and says one of them can meet him in the ring in the main event. Waller offers up Theory, which seems to be a trend lately. Theory is upset. Waller tells Theory he just got him a main event match with Randy Orton. That has to be a good thing. Tiffany Stratton continues her momentum and defeat Naomi in a short match due to the Bloodline segment lasting about 4 hours. The Kabuki Warriors versus Bayley and Dakota Kai ends in betrayal, as Dakota Kai also turns on Bayley, dropping off the apron before they all gang up on Bayley. Braun Breaker defeats Zion Quinn with literally one spear at the opening bell. Carlito defeated Santos Escobar in a wild street fight which saw interference from both factions, and the return of Rey Mysterio. Backstage, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate ask SmackDown GM Nick Aldis for a tag title shot at WrestleMania. Aldis says he is working with Raw GM Adam Pearce to figure out what is next for the tag team champions. With Kevin Owens on commentary for the main event, Randy Orton defeated Austin Theory with, of course, an RKO. As Waller attacks Orton after the match, Kevin Owens makes the save and Waller receives an RKO of his own. Again, we're going to be skipping Collision this week, so let's jump straight into the Monday Night Recap. I'm taking one for the team and going in Raw. Cody Rhodes opens with his response to The Rock's insults on SmackDown before he's joined by Seth Rollins dressed like a highlighter pin. They discuss the tag team match challenge and Rollins drops the embarrassing line renaming Rock as Diarrhea Dwayne. Rhodes then announces that they will be on SmackDown to give Rock an answer, face to face. Gunther defeated Dominic Mysterio in a non-title match where Dom surprisingly held his own with a powerbomb into a Boston Crab. Backstage, Adam Pearce questions Damage Control's presence as they want to scout the women's tag match. Shinsuke Nakamura interrupts, but Pearce tells him they can talk about Gunther in his office. Backstage, Pearce prepares to make an announcement about the Intercontinental title as Priest asks him to give McDonough a shot. In the ring, Adam Pearce announces that Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, JD McDonough, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed will face off in a gauntlet match next week. The winner will face Gunther at WrestleMania. Next up, we have Andrade defeating Apollo Crews with La Sombra. Backstage again, Sami Zayn vows to win the gauntlet before Ivar and Valhalla got in his face. The Judgment Day defeated Imperium as Priest hits South of Heaven, and naturally, Vinci eats the pin. Paul Heyman is officially officially announced as this year's first Hall of Fame inductee. Backstage again, Damage Control runs into Rhea Ripley, and Ripley tells Io to stay out of her territory. Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler defeat Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. After the match, Damage Control enter the ring as Kai tells Stark and Baszler they will have a title shot after the Kabuki Warriors retain at Roadblock. Backstage, Dominic is checked on in the trainer's room as Rhea asks him what he thought was going to happen against Gunther. Priest vows revenge on Imperium and basically puts McDonough forward to face Gunther. Andrade enters, and Dominic thinks Andrade could be important for them as he has a conversation with Priest in Spanish. Nia Jax defeated Becky Lynch by disqualification this time as Liv Morgan attacks Nia Jax at ringside. As Liv squares up to Becky, Nia Jax attacks them both. Sami Zayn defeated Ivar, her dodging a doomsault to hit a haluva kick. But after the match, Bronson Reed viciously attacks Zayn. Backstage, Chad Gable also vows to win the gauntlet. In the main event, Drew McIntyre defeated Jey Uso with a Claymore, thanks once again to a distraction from Jimmy Uso. And now there cannot be any question that we're heading for Uso versus Uso at Mania. After the match, Seth Rollins saves Jey from a chair attack from Jimmy, but turns right into a Claymore from McIntyre. Now it's time for a round of beer as he takes us through this week's NXT.
Hey guys, this is Beer. This is your NXT review from the 5th of March 2024. This is the Roadblock review. It's a very action-packed show, so let's get to it. Roadblock kicks off with the Asylum match between Dijak and Joe Gacy. Two guys who will definitely be in the main event scene this year. There was crazy spots in this match. You name it. Tables, doors, straight jackets. It's even included a moonsault from Dijak from the top of the cage, replicating a zero Kurt Angle. Very good match. Top the match at Vengeance Day for me. Dijak picks up the win with the Feast Your Eyes. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin defeat Andre Chase and Duke Hudson to retain the tag team championships, leads to the Deep Six going into Braun Breaker's Vicious Spear. That's never a boring match when Braun Breaker's wrestling. The guy is just incredible. Corbin and Breaker were so over, and also they will then lead to Thea Hale walking out on Chase U with JC Jane doing the famous L sign to Thea. It's only the small attention to detail you have to keep your eye on. Shawn Spears makes his in-ring return against a local wrestler who turned out to be the son of the legendary Fit Finlay. It was a quick win for Spears as well with the C4. Great presentation and great ovation for Shawn. Great to see him back in the ring. Ridge Holland comes out after the match, and Shawn wants him to attack. Wants Ridge to attack Shawn. Obviously, Ridge doesn't do it. The referees come to the ring. Now, there's also little hints that I've noticed really on YouTube recently. I want you to keep your eye on this. There's a channel out there called Dreadmere. Now, you're thinking, Beer, you're off your head. There is a channel on there, and Shawn Spears' name was mentioned on there, and the voice sounds like Bo Dallas. So if you want to take a look, I'll probably speak to you about this on the show where I am on Thursday. We got the Women's Tag Team Championship match, but the Kabuki Warriors defending against Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. Huge pop for the two former NXT legends who make their return. Asuka's unbeaten. Tag Team titles on the line. They've got a lot to lose. But, no, the Kabuki Warriors do retain the Tag Team Championships. Unfortunately, Lyra Valkyria inadvertently kicked Tatum in the face and get the 1, 2, 3. But after the match, Roxanne Perez finally turns heel, attacks Lyra after the match, and injures her arm. We possibly think it's a suspected broken arm. We've now got our women's match for Stand and Deliver, and my god, full heel Roxanne, top face Lyra Valkyria, Tatum Paxley, you're coming to your turning heel, buddy. And then Lyra was unfortunately then taken to a local medical... Oh, I forgot. We say hospital. So, Fallon Henley then faced Blair Davenport after Blair Davenport provoked Fallon early in the night after giving poor advice to poor young Thea Hale. Blair dominated for the entirety of the match until we see the shock return of a certain Sol Ruka. Now, we've not seen Sol since before the summer. Unfortunately, she did suffer an ACL injury, which sadly what's keeping the likes of Shotzi, Cora Jade, Nikita Lyons all to one side. But we are hoping that Sol can be back in the ring as soon as we can. If you've never seen Sol Ruka wrestle, you are missing out. She's so good. Fallon picks up the 1, 2, 3. No Quarter Catch Crew. They arrived to celebrate Charlie Dempsey's huge win last week over Noam Dar. They also entered themselves into the tag team tournament. So the winners will be facing the Wolf Dogs at Stand and Deliver. And while Charlie Dempsey was talking, out comes William Regal. To embrace happiness at the way that the Heritage Cup has been defended, Charlie says to his father, "I will defend the championship better than he ever did." Are we going to see William Regal one more time? And who better to have his final match against his real-life son, Charlie Dempsey? Main event of the night sees Tony D'Angelo facing Carmelo Hayes. The winner will face Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. Now, Tony D picked up the win in a very good main event. While Melo was about to go for the finisher, Trick Williams' theme played, led to eruption from the crowd. And then there was no trick. Tony D takes advantage, gets the 1, 2, 3. Tony D gets on the mic after and says he apologises for the stunt and gives Melo the apology present. Deserves. Out comes Trick Williams and beats the piss out of Carmelo Hayes and also Melo's security guards. For me, Roadblock was a joy to watch. Start to finish, stories are building, ready for Stand and Deliver. April 6th can't come quick enough for me. Obviously, we've got WrestleMania Saturday. Stand and Deliver. Do not underestimate this show, because this show is going to cook. Anyway, action-packed show. 5 out of 5 for me. Simple as that. Shawn Michaels cooked again. Now, what we got next week? We've got a few matches announced already. We have got Brooke Jensen taking on Obi Femi for the North American Championship. We've also got Ariana Grace against Gigi Dolan. Gigi Dolan needs a win from somewhere. Can she finally get it against Ariana Grace? So that's all we got so far. But anyway, actually, yeah, we've got Sean Spears against Rich Holland. Forgot to mention that. Anyway, you know what time it is now. It's time to go to Last Night at Dynamite. Moses, take it away.
All right, let's hop into the Dynamite from last night. First and foremost, I have to say this because I need y'all opinion. I'm watching the show last night, so the first thing, the backsplash, the fucking LED board, whatever, the fucking colors give me all of the NXT 2.0 vibes. The show itself, I really felt like I was watching late 90s WWF. Just from the opening promo into the match, and then how the promo was into the match that was super impromptu to an immediate hardcore match.
Yeah,
like
I think
watching the hardcore title.
I think I got that feeling too, like the way they presented Swerve. It was like back in the day, you'd have Stone Cold or The Rock come out and open the show. But it did have a much different feel to it.
I mean, it's not a heart. I should have led with that. It's not a heart. It was just I felt like I was watching a different show, and then the little thing started to hit, and it was like, oh, Dynamite, bro, Dynamite. You know what I mean? But it gave me those feels at first. But the new look looks good. We started off with Schiavone interviewing Swerve. Like I said, came out awesomely. This is his face turn right here. and he vows to defeat Samoa Joe at some point. That's when he's interrupted by Joe. He taunts Swerve, pushing Swerve to challenge Joe for a title match, which hopefully down the line, if fucking the Undisputed Kingdom doesn't fuck it up, which they fuck up this whole promo because they interrupt. Cole pushes Swerve's buttons and suggests that Taven and Bennett face Swerve and Joe next week. TK says, no, you're going to do that tonight. I could have sworn it was a tag title match.
Yeah, me too.
I could have sworn it was tag title. You know how it is. You know, they're the greatest ROH tag team champions of all time and haven't defended them yet. But hey, they're the greatest. Swerve and Joe defeat the Kingdom, but as Swerve gloats after the win, his partner chokes him out because that's Joe's got to send a message. He's sending a message to Wardlow, who just stands there, takes his shirt off, bounces his titties a couple times, takes off to the back, because that's what the big, strong guys do. Big, strong guys do. Speaking of big, strong guys, backstage, Renee's talking to Hook ahead of his match, but Chris Jericho interrupts Hook and wants to talk to him. Jericho talks about his history with his dad, Taz, and how he showed him respect when he dropped him on his head, and hey, you suplexed me on my head last night, or on Saturday, on Sunday, so, you know, maybe you're the real deal, as Jericho says, which I'm already getting weird feels out of this, like, what seems to be new Jericho. I'm already getting some weird ones.
New Jericho is creepy uncle.
Thank you. Perfectly said. Also, perfectly done. Backstage, Matthew and Nicholas with the biggest cheeser smiles. Like, again, this gave me all the late 90s WWF. This felt like DX for a minute. Teased 2 huge announcements before they announced their announcements will be later tonight in the ring, which was fucking tremendous.
It felt like a little bit of a rib on TK for me too. Okay, we're going to announce an announcement. Beautiful, baby. Beautiful. Hook defeats Brian Cage to retain the FTW title in an FTW match. He's then jumped by the rest of the Gates of Agony until, again, creepy Uncle Jericho comes to make the save because why the fuck is Chris Jericho making the save? That's it now, creepy Uncle Jericho.
Creepy Uncle Jericho. Put it on a t-shirt. We get another highlight package of Sting's retiring. Then we get the Best Friends announcing their entry in the tag team tournament. Chucky is still hurt, which is very concerning for me because he's been out for a while. But it looks like it'll be Orange and Trent, no longer Beretta, but Trent in the tag tournament, which I have no idea when it starts.
No, they didn't announce anything.
No, so it's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen. Christian Cage is on commentary for a kill switch killing of Daddy Magic because why not? He beats the shit out of him after the match. Danny Garcia comes down to make the save. Kill switch and Nick Wayne end up double teaming him, taking him out as the patriarchy is celebrating on the ramp. Adam Copeland returns, wipes them all out, damn near fucking throws Kill switch off the ramp, almost misses the table. I swear he just like breaks it with his foot to make it look like he hit it. I swear, because I didn't even see him hit the table at all.
Almost did a ramp Ryback.
He almost did.
Missed the fucking table.
Missed the table. It was just tremendously whatever. Even Mama Wayne tries to get the low blow in and it gets suffocated or gets stopped, I should say. That's when we see Christian Cage make his application to the NFL, trying to make a 40 time as he fucking beelines it through the crowd, hijacks a motor vehicle, and takes off in the calmest way of taking off I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. He's all like, oh, wait, there's a merge? I just gotta do this safely. I don't want to ruin this guy's car that I just stole.
I'm not with Geico.
So hard. Yeah, he's covered by Geico. Don't worry, you're all good. But it was again the 90s Raw that because it's good feels. It's good feels. This is not a negative comparison. It's good feels.
Why do wrestlers never get in trouble for Grand Theft Auto?
Dude, the
You
Grand
can
Theft
steal
Auto,
a car, an ambulance, a fire truck,
limos, cement trucks, milk trucks,
Zambonis,
ATVs.
Think of all the kidnappings in NXT that nobody reported.
Yeah.
There's some shit that goes. There's some shit that goes down in wrestling, bro. Let me just say that. Some shit. Oh my goodness. So after that whole debacle, he realizes he cannot go after a moving vehicle. He then challenges Christian Cage to an I Quit match in Toronto in 2 weeks because that's, obviously got to finish it in their home place. Kyle O'Reilly talks to Renee backstage. He's back. He was afraid he wasn't going to wrestle. His diabetes was out of control, but now he's good to go and he's ready. But he's not going to side with the Undisputed Kingdom. He's going to take his own path, which makes me kind of think, does that mean Bob the Fish is back on the way? It's just Kyle being Kyle. This is the way cooler Kyle than the NXT Kyle, so I'll take this Kyle all day long. Another video package for Sting. Schiavone brings out the Bucks, who literally steal Cody's entrance and are piping for more and more and more and more and more pyro. And I was dying at it. This was just fantastic. So Tony literally was like, so how are you guys recovering after getting your asses kicked? They're like, get the hell out of here, Tony. It was the fucking best. I'm telling you, for the people that hate the Young Bucks, dude, if you're not loving everything they're doing right now, you just don't like wrestling. You just don't like entertainment. Okay. You just don't like entertainment. So they kick him out of the ring. They're all, they say that Sting and Darby cheated. They're absolute full heel mode. They announced that they're going to be entering the tag title tournament as well. Matthew announces that due to Hangman's actions at Revolution, they are forced to suspend him indefinitely without pay from the Elite. So that means he's out of the Elite. Going to be out of the Elite soon. So they then go on to fire Kenny Omega for not making any dates for quote unquote no good reason, as my man is battling diverticulitis. So it's just funny. He's been fired from the Elite, and before they make another announcement, their third announcement, Eddie Kingston interrupts and says, yeah, I'm wearing sweatpants and Timbs. And I'm like, hey, he looks comfortable to me. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't complaining. He throws a lot of money at him and says, you guys said you were going to find me if I talk shit about you. So take that. They end up fighting, turns into a whole double team on Eddie Kingston. That's when we hear the coin drop. The still huge pop for Okada, even though people are saying, the E fans are saying there was no pop. You're full of shit. There's a giant pop for Okada. He comes down. He's fucking business suited out. And we're like, yeah, baby, fresh off the jet plane kind of shit. He goes in, backs Eddie off. Like, we got this. Then he grabs him and he kills him with the Rainmaker. And the most unexpected thing to ever happen in wrestling, Okada turns heel. But it's not the most unexpected thing to ever happen in wrestling, because if you know New Japan like I do, this is how he started. This is how he came in. He's the cocky playboy with all the money that went after Tanahashi and his world title. So now we get the cocky, arrogant, on the side of the Bucks' new best friend, Okada. So this is, I'm all fucking for it. I'm all fucking for it. We get Chris Statlander in a fucking banger against Riho, by the way. And why we don't get more Riho disappoints me.
Yeah, she slaps every time she shows up.
She is the shit. Go ahead, Beer. Tell me you love me some Riho.
Oh, yeah. She's great. She is absolutely great.
Stokely tries to get her to use the chain. Statlander says no. She ends up getting her ass. She ends up getting rolled up and lost, which the TSK was a little disappointed in, but it's building towards Statlander's turn, and it's rebuilding Riho so she can get her annual fucking title match, or semi-annual title match, I should say. Then we get the beautiful Toni Storm and fucking Maria May playing the old switcheroo as the old Toni Storm. And Toni announces that there's going to be the Tony Awards next week. Tony with an I, so we don't get sued. As she's so blatant to the camera, and
love that.
She's the best. She's the best. Yes. She then teleports somehow, some way to the whole other side of the building, probably just right next door, to an interview with Stokely Hathaway and Willow, as she announces that she will face Riho next week, but she's going to do it her way, Stokely, her way. So either both of these girls are turning heel, or they're going to kick his ass. But I think they're going to go heel. So I kind of
I like the whole dynamic with those two and Stokely, though.
Yeah, I do. And again, if you want to take them heel, I don't have a problem with that. I think Statlander would be awesome as a heel. The bubbly Willow Nightingale could be an even better heel. So fucking sign me up. Schiavone brings out yet another dude, busy man tonight. He brings out Darby Allin. Darby Allin thanks the fans for all the, for showing up tonight, for all their love and support. He talks about how next week might be his last match ever if he doesn't come back from Mount Everest. And it was like, why did you put that out there? Like, we know you're going to go to Mount Everest, but we're like, this guy's crazy. There's no way he's not coming back. Now we're like, he may not come back. Thanks a lot. Thanks a whole lot. Jay White, literally while this guy's crying that he may not come back, fucking Jay White rips him a new one and says, he's going to this him and that him. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know how Jay White is. Pretty much all his promos are the same. Challenges him to a match next week. Then we get backstage. Julia Hart says she feels forgotten and will host an open house on Rampage. The rest of the House of Black then address Mark Briscoe. Renee gets a response from Briscoe. Says that he will face the whole House of Black in a street fight on Collision, but Lethal cannot help himself but to help him because he is a friend with them. They've known each other 20 plus years. Briscoe tells him, don't bring Jeff Jarrett. And then Jay Lethal brings up a good point. He says, if we're going to have a street fight, you kind of want an arrogant bastard like Jeff Jarrett on your side. So I hope he brings an extra guitar because they're going to fucking need it.
I did love that delivery from Briscoe. Don't you bring that Jeff Jarrett.
Don't you? Mark Briscoe is the fucking best. Speaking of the best, in the main event, Will Ospreay, who's not at 100%, by the way, let me reiterate. Will Ospreay is not at 100%. Pulls out one of the greatest hits as he defeats Kyle Fletcher, a fucking excellent up-and-comer, who willingly takes the hidden blade to end things. The show ends as on a little bit of a cliffhanger as Bryan Danielson comes out to confront Will Ospreay. So we had so many matches built. We already have Okada versus Omega in the works if Omega can ever come. When Omega comes back, I don't want to be that negative guy. When Omega is able to come back, we will get that opportunity at that. We're building towards fucking Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, probably at the next pay-per-view. That sounds amazing. Speaking of amazing, guess who's going after a belt and probably wins it in its first try? Okada against Eddie Kingston for the Continental Crown. And that could just abso-fucking-lutely slap. So
that would make Okada technically Ring of Honor World Champion too.
Yep. And New Japan Strong. So imagine the giant star that Okada was still having that little bit of tie with New Japan and hanging out and working the American side for him a little bit. How crazy would that fucking be? It's excellent shit. It's excellent shit. Oh yeah.
Great
now,
show.
Great show indeed. Probably one of the best, if not the best this year. Probably not the best. So now, before we finish it on up, Chris has some things. Son of a bitch. He's got some stuff to say. He's got to get it off his chest. Let's hear from the fired mercenary. You suck.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing again, and again, expecting a different result. And after 3 valid, though failed attempts of winning the World Television Championship, I realize that I can do it. But it's not that time. Unfortunately for me, though, that's not music to Moses' ears. And as a matter of fact, he hated it so much to the point where he kicked me out of the MDO. And that's fine. I don't care. It ain't gonna bother me one bit. Because his loss is now my game. Because you see, the reason why I even joined the MDO in the first place is because Moses hired me. I'm called a mercenary for a reason. Now, sure, me trying to win the World Television Championship 3 times, it certainly says a lot about it. But that doesn't mean that I can't go up against the best of them. I mean, ask Daz, ask Travis, ask Cypher. They'd all know of what I'm capable of. Which leads me to my announcement. You see, this July, it will be 1 year since I made my debut in Max Wrestling. And I thought, what's a good way to celebrate it? By doing an all-out promo battle tour. That's right, starting on March 28th. For the next 5 months, I'm going up against the best of the best in promo battles. And all of this will be placed under TV rules. That means no camera cuts, no special effects, no gimmicks, none of that. It's just going to be me, my opponent, and the camera. That's it. No more, no less. And I know what you're thinking. Who all am I going to be challenging for the next 5 months? Well, that's for me to know and for you to find out. But what I can tell you is who I'm going to be facing first. And this person knows who I am because he has a history with me. And that's you, Dazzy Lee. I'm calling you out. I want the mercenary versus the captain. Round 3. One more time. And either I win this or I lose. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from reaching all the way to the top and gain not only the World Championship, the Knowledge Championship, the Group MVP, and so on, but to also gain the one title that has eluded me thus far. It's the World Television Championship. So, Dazzy Lee, get ready. Because not only are you going to be next, but most importantly, you're going to be last. See you on Thursday, March 28th.
Interesting. Interesting, Chris. I see you. I hear you. You know what? You'll have my answer next week. On the 9th anniversary of Max Wrestling, cheap plug.
Hey.
Join us on March 14th for all the festivities. And yes, that was a very smooth segue into a cheap plug. And you know what? Since both champions are here, how about we also show up again next week and we celebrate our anniversary with a tag title rematch? Because you know what? Cypher's going to be here next week too.
Hey, all right, let's go. We're fighting champs.
There you go. There's a match next week. And Chris, you'll have my answer next week too. So, quick thing. I wasn't supposed to recap TNA this past week because Sacrifice is coming up tomorrow. So we were supposed to be predicting that. So let's get into TNA's Sacrifice very quickly before we go anywhere. We already got 6 matches, so it shouldn't take too long. And I say pay-per-view, I think it's an Impact Plus exclusive. So it's kind of like a pay-per-view in between pay-per-views.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Nick Nemeth versus Steve Macklin, which was announced this past week on Impact. Nick Nemeth, of course, is the new and current New Japan Global Champion, and Steve Macklin's had beef with him from the very moment he came into TNA. He calls him a leech.
Yeah, I love that. Love it a lot.
So with all the momentum, I got to go Nick Nemeth.
Yeah, I'll go Nemeth.
It's kind of hard not to, no? I mean, the guy just won a fucking New Japan belt.
Yeah.
From an established New Japan guy.
Not only that, but he's like coming with a ton of momentum as like an ex-WWE guy.
Crap ton of momentum. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, Nick Nemeth all day.
All right, let's go. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do these in fucking order. ABC defending the tag team titles against the Systems, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers. Every time ABC defend these titles, I feel like they're going to lose, but the System are on a roll.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is probably that time. This is probably that time now, which sucks. It sucks.
It would make sense, too, because obviously Moose is still TNA World Champion, so the whole System would have titles.
Yeah. Yep. I'll go with the System.
Same.
I got a feeling this is going to be a full house between the three of us for this pay-per-view.
God damn it, don't you ruin me, TNA.
Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone. He's dropped the first name. He's just Hammerstone now. One thing.
Do this?
What? Yeah, I think they did it before Hammerstone officially signed. So this is like rematch. Now he's officially in TNA.
Oh, so then guess who wins?
Hammerstone.
This guy didn't fucking sign.
But what I didn't understand is how he lost at Hard to Kill. I just don't know. It was Hammerstone's debut.
He wasn't signed. That's why.
Yeah, he wasn't signed.
Right.
But
I'll take that back.
Also, they're obviously still pushing Josh maybe for another world title feud.
Yeah.
And of course,
really
they just
like
re-signed him too.
Mm-hmm.
Against his will, but apparently he's okay with it. He's okay with it, but his wife is not. Just the way she.
They're happy about the bank account being filled all the time. Like, oh yeah, sweet, but fuck this company.
But we all heard out from her because she posted going, "Hey, by the way, TNA extended Josh's contract," and it was like there was no like fireworks or anything. It was just like, "Hey, look what these fuckers did."
Well, yeah, because everybody was very up in arms, and everybody still is up in arms over the idea of them getting rid of Scott D'Amore after this fucking rebuild had finally gone successful. After all the ups and downs, and trust me, there was a lot. There was a whole hell of a lot.
Thankfully,
they were just like, nah, peace out, dog.
Thankfully, it still seems to be running smooth.
Yeah.
All right, we got a 6-man tag Time Machine, which is Chris Sabin, Kushida, and Kevin Knight versus Mustafa Ali and the Good Hands.
Why ruin Ali's momentum? After
this is the 6-man.
I'll go Ali.
Yeah, it makes sense for me too. We're probably going to get a rematch for the X Division title too, because that's what Chris Sabin was looking for this past week, before he got jumped. So, I imagine Ali will get the win, and then we'll get the rematch. What's the next actual pay-per-view? It's not going to be. There's got to be something before Slammiversary.
I've got some information up right now.
Questions.
That is what it is at the moment. There is no new.
Yeah.
When is Slammiversary?
June or July usually.
God damn.
They got to get something in between because TNA love their Impact Plus specials. So yeah, Ali and the Good Hands for me. Is that Full House still?
Nah, give me Time Machine. Believe it or not.
All right. I mean, I can see that too. Like Ali doesn't have to take the pin.
No, yeah, exactly.
What makes sense for Ali to take the pin? Obviously, he's just won. Which title did he just win recently?
X Division.
Oh, was X Division?
So yeah, of course. If Chris Sabin did pin Ali, then there's no excuses. You got to give me a rematch. But we'll see how it goes. After this past week, as I said in the recap, Tasha Steelz and Xia Brookside was a double count out for the #1 contendership. So Jordan Grace said, "Fuck it, I'll face you both." Jordan Grace defending the Knockouts title in a 3-way. And I don't see a title change.
But there was an interesting tweet that she's put recently, is that she's taken bookings in Philadelphia on WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, is that going to be for like conventions or stuff though?
Who knows? Depends if the WWE's got that deal with TNA, but who knows? Anything
That'd be sweet if they get her a WrestleMania match as Knockouts champion. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Just not against Nia Jax, please.
Oh no, the rumor I saw was Nia Jax versus Jade, which is just car crash material.
Yeah, exactly.
Why'd you do that? Why did you pull a Kyle and put it out in the atmosphere like that? Why?
He's out there.
As much as like an idea of a title change sounds cool because Xia Brookside is a little got a little momentum coming from her NXT, and Tasha Steelz has been right there. Doesn't she still have the fucking whatever that is?
Oh, no, what's her name? Giselle Shaw had that. She already cashed it in.
Giselle, though, that's right.
Yeah, she cashed it in and lost. So that takes us to main event, Moose versus Eric Young for the world title.
Yeah.
And again, I don't see a title change.
Yeah, it's got to be Moose.
People love Moose, man.
Well, it would just seem way too random for Eric Young to win the title. I'm pretty sure he's also still feuding with Kazarian, who got banned from the building this past week for beating up the referee at No Surrender. So
yeah,
I imagine Kazarian gets involved. Moose retains, probably goes on to face Josh Alexander again.
Probably. Sounds about right.
I'll cook. I will definitely cook. There's also a topic that we never spoke about at the start of the show with AEW. Sammy Guevara.
Oh shit, yeah. Suspended also for hitting his finisher on Jeff after Jeff was already concussed.
Ironic that it's a week before Mercedes arrives. And obviously what Sammy Guevara said in the past. Ironic that it's a week before, and it's confirmed that all is...
Yeah, but they had a conversation. She forgave him.
Yeah, it's so from listening to Uncle Dave, apparently what it is literally that it's just TK has to play boss. So what it was of course they hey, it's go to the finish, you know what I mean? He's hurt, you need to get going. But that could mean different things to different people. Go to the finish could mean, lead to your finisher, whatever have you. And, other times it just means fucking pin the guy and get the hell out of here. And in this instance, they thought that he just had a broken nose and not a concussion. And so when you get to the GTH, a shot to the head while concussed, it's super scary. Everybody's fucking kind of panicky. But then again, that kind of should not have come from the back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like, Sammy's not in the wrong. Don't you dare be mad at it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, in that instance, if you're that worried about it being a possible concussion, wouldn't that be something that the ref should relay to Sammy? Hey, don't hit your finish, just roll him up. You know what I mean? Pin him.
Because apparently they're told specifically if somebody's banged up, out for the count, don't hit your finisher.
Yeah,
I agree.
But we've seen that before where we're like refs are like, hey, dude, just you know what I mean? Where they've communicated, there was no communication, zero.
I'm also starting to think maybe Sammy Guevara shouldn't wrestle anybody in the Hardy family.
Yeah.
Because we had something like this with Matt too.
Yeah, that's 1,000%.
I think that was a concussion too. When they did they
then
fall
we
off the
blamed it
ladder
on
and they
Matt
both
being-
hit the concrete?
Yeah, but I was gonna say we blamed it on Matt being old as fuck.
Yeah.
I was terrified when I saw that spot. It was off which pay-per-view was it? Was it
Full Gear?
I want to say Full Gear was right, yeah, where they're all fighting off that scaffold or whatever. Not the scaffold, the fucking scissor lift.
At his head.
Yeah, so just keep Sammy away from the Hardys.
Please.
I mean, what's next? He's gonna concuss Rebby.
Hey.
What's that?
Maybe.
This is also I think it's the third time Sammy has been suspended in AEW.
Yeah, it sounds
maybe
about
fourth.
right.
He's been suspended a lot.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I mean, I've seen a few people suspended from WWE, and then they get the boot. But Sammy,
yeah.
But then again, I suppose it's for different reasons, obviously because of drug problems, possibly. But to see where it goes with Sammy.
Yeah,
Dude's talented, but
super talented. He just keeps getting in trouble.
The pace.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is pretty much all of it for this week. Thank you again to everybody that joined us for Leap of Faith last week. It was an incredible night of promo action, and let's not talk about the trivia. But nonetheless, we are now going full speed to Promo Mania, and our 9th edition comes your way April 2nd and April 4th.
Right, a 2-night event after a correct ruling from that lawyer. That's right. He's the man. Your new Max television champion 3-time will defend against that very same lawyer as a little reward, if you will. In television rules, it'll be yours truly against the lawyer Chad Malcolm. TV rules for the TV title.
That's right. Bring that title home to Dragon Club, my lawyer, my friend. In a rematch from last year's promo battle, the Phoenix is set to challenge Ted P. De Niro, but this time in trivia. And it is for the Knowledge Championship. It's also Teddy's first defense, and it will be 3 stages of knowledge.
Ooh, faith. And finally, he may not be, because he's not your television champion no more. But Travis does have to defend his name. Beer has accused him of being the man behind the mask of Alan Maskras. They will square up at Promo Mania, and if Beer is correct on his allegations, his accusations, Anos, whatever, the masked motherfucker will have to unmask.
And I also want
his ugly face.
I also want to raise my bar a bit. If Travis is innocent, on the next show, I will go on my hands and knees, and I will apologise.
Sorry.
And I will be apologising to Travis, and I will go on my hands and knees.
For anybody that cut off when he said get on his hands and knees, we apologize. He meant an apology.
It will be, and I'm going to stick to my word.
Well, I think you are going to have to apologize because, like I keep saying, I don't think it is Travis, but we'll find out at Promo Mania whether it is him or not for sure. And of course, we will predict WrestleMania 40 and hold the traditional Iron Bank Challenge. Once again, it is April 2nd and 4th. Go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com/PromoMania9.
I'll do it right now.
All right, then. I don't think it's going to be as easy as last week, but let's get some twat points on the board. It is time for the Twatometer.
Expect even less from a bunch of neckbeard stinky twats.
So it comes as no surprise, but before we even begin, he just get points every week. I think Ryback's definitely due some points this week.
I mean, as you saw me shaking my head prior to the whole thing, I was very hesitant on who to give points to because it was one of those weeks where it's the positivity over-flooded the negativity tenfold. And so it was hard to figure out somebody that was all bad. But this guy's all bad all the fucking time because he's just bitter. You know what I mean? He's just bitter. And that guy is Ryback. And I'm just going to lead off with, I just read part of his statement, and that's already 5 points, and I just read the other half of his statement, and that's another 5 points. So Ryback gets a lovely 10 points for absolutely shitting all over Paul Heyman for the simple fact of he sucked. So to quote Ryback, these are Ryback's words and not me. Paul Heyman, aka Oswald Cobblepot, it is being inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I just want to say personally, congratulations to the pizza pie stuffing fudgesicle poop stain. Or poop shit stain, whitey tie wearing sloth of a human being. Paul has made a great career for himself for being lazy, lying, cheating, shortcut taking, just manipulative, horrible human being, and he will actually fit great in the WWE Hall of Fame. He says this whole seems very rushed, and makes you wonder if everything's going on in the WWE and Vince McMahon's lawsuit with Brock Lesnar's involvement and Lesnar with Paul Heyman. It just makes you kind of think, doesn't it? And Paul, just so you know that the big guy Ryback thinks you're a grade A piece of shit and you're not nearly as good on the microphone as you think you are. You're not nearly as good at life as you think you are, bud. Like, I don't understand why in the hell you fucking comment like Paul Heyman in that. Like I get it, dude. You know what I mean? Hey, I had a very shitty fucking WWE run and it has to be the manager's fault, right? Right? No. Look at they say this in life and in sports all around, dude. When you have a problem with something, maybe you need to look in the mirror first before you go going around pointing fingers. And the last time I checked, you've been on the fucking free agency market for years, fam. Not weeks, not months, not days, years, brother. And nobody wants to sign you for a handful of fucking reasons. And I assure you, this is on fucking top of it because the second the things don't go your way because I'm a big jack son of a bitch and I should just be world champion because I'm a big jack son of a bitch. This isn't 1999 player. You're going to be like, oh, well, fuck local indie 45, whatever, because they didn't make me their champion night one. Like, you suck. It's an easy 10 points. I should give you a hell of a lot more because Paul Heyman doesn't deserve that. I am the whole mixed. Why you're throwing his name in there with the Brock Lesnar shit right now and the Vince McMahon scandal is beside me. Is beside me. You're upset about the way he managed you and why you had a shitty run. So what the fuck? What does it matter about the way he managed Brock Lesnar? What does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? It's a fucking on-air rule, you moron. God, I haven't used that word in a long time. Moron.
He's dumb as fuck.
He is. Jesus.
That puts Ryback surprisingly only in third place on the Twatometer, was 25 points in total.
Oh, that's got to change, man. That's
Man,
gotta change.
Going.
He's 5 behind Dwayne. Maybe we should take some points away from Dwayne and give them to Ryback.
I'm getting to that point.
Because Dwayne's redeemed himself now.
Yeah, he's also gone full heel. You know what I mean? He's full sell and that whole stuff.
Yeah, you crackheads.
I think he's doing great. Promo on SmackDown Live I thought was fucking bro. I was in stitches laughing.
Oh yeah, Hollywood Dwayne's gone. Rock is back. Is anybody else getting 20 points this week, or is it just Ryback?
Trying to think. Has anyone else actually caused any shit recently?
That's what I'm saying. It's
been a pretty good week.
You know what? No, I'll give 1 point to TK, and it's simply and I love this guy for what he's doing for us for AEW, but every motherfucking time you grab the microphone,
oh god, yeah,
I don't need to stop it. You don't need to scream, and then you sound so bad, like you don't. You know what I mean? You could have been like, this was the greatest thing that ever happened. Sting's here, it's a Sting retirement. Sting, No, instead you're like, it's the greatest thing. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Like, which was the one when he made that announcement? His voice completely broke. Was it the Greek Freak?
He did it on fucking Revolution.
Yeah.
This is the greatest wrestling pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, and it's like, why are you so loud?
I think it's because he's just come from Gorilla, or do they still call it the Dusty position in AEW? And he's like talking on the headphones quietly, and then all of a sudden he's got to go out there and talk louder.
But you couldn't. But here's what I'm saying. And as people that we talk on this thing all the time. You can't emphasize one word. This is the greatest pay-per-view ever. Oh, hey, he's extra excited. Yay. Instead, you literally look like I hate saying this word like this because I feel like I'm stereotyping myself while stereotyping somebody else. But you feel like a mark. Like just the giantest 11-year-old mark that just saw Randy Orton for the first time. Oh my God, there's Randy Orton in the 7-Eleven. That's what you feel like, dude. And it's like, I want to defend him. I want to defend him every chance I can because, again, look at what he's bringing us. But, like, sometimes, motherfucker, I need you to remember that you are a billionaire, okay? Fucking conduct yourself as one, partner, okay? I know Fulham sucks, but conduct yourself as one.
Fucking beat us a few weeks ago. Bastards.
That was the greatest football match ever.
Oh, God. I don't ever want to hear him talk football. Never. Ever.
Talk about football lately. It's just soul destroying. Except Wales. We play soon against Poland, so hopefully we can get the job done.
Yeah. TK, we love you, but you need to lay off the powder.
Hey, take it easy.
All right. I don't want to go obvious and go for Sting, but let's put some points on the Yeto meter.
You feel me? For real. Do you feel him, sir? Do.
Well, we saw the return of Trick Williams on Tuesday, and my God, Carmelo Hayes is selling. I gotta get big up Carmelo Hayes selling for Trick's return. I thought was sweet.
You know what? Yeah, let's give 5 points to Tricks. Because also,
Trick.
I didn't think NXT was like that popular with like the mainstream audience, but somehow they love Trick.
He's so over right now. It's just mad.
I said it in the last, what was it, Vengeance that they did? That Trick is like, he's got this swerve kind of feel right now. He's that over kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? He's just beloved. Now, again, I could be the asshole, man. It's only for 300 and something people. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. There is a aura around this man who was once just supposed to be a fucking valet. And now look at him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, give credit where it's due, and he's due it. You know what I'm saying? He's due it. Trick Williams is it.
Yeah. All right, 5 points to Trick.
Yeah.
I gave Sting 39 points last week, one for each year of his career, and he's now sitting on 42. So I want to give him a nice round number. I'm going to give Sting 8 points, so he's on 50.
Love it. He's the man.
And you know what? Fuck Ryback. So let's give 10 points to Paul Heyman.
Fuck yeah, dude. You're hating on again. I don't like. I would understand if like maybe like you fucked your mom or something. Like, I hate you,
You
Paul Heyman.
swear he
You fucked
did
my mom.
reading that shit.
You know what I mean? It's the hate that I felt just from reading these words. Felt like an angry teenager mad at their mom.
Ryback is saltier than a porn star's mouth.
Hey. Hey-o.
Gee, just get over it, man.
Seriously.
All right.
Roxanne Perez. The way that
why, what'd she
finally heel turn complete, thank fuck. And the way she
Did
destroyed
she break somebody's arm?
Lyra Valkyria. Oh, dude, it was elite. But Roxanne Perez, she is so good at it. It's gonna work.
All right.
Good girl.
2 points to
Lyra.
Roxy.
So,
As the banner said, did she break somebody's arm?
That's all I saw, just a picture of her kicking, and the arm's like down there.
Oh, God.
Fuck rough.
Did she actually break it, or is it just, I mean, I know it's
I think
kayfabe, but...
it's just a work.
Okay.
Stunning door.
Excellent sell then.
Excellent sell. Yeah, maybe she's double jointed.
That was great.
Well, thank you for joining us. I hope we rocked you harder than, I was going to say than Darby Allin's back, but I'm going to say I hope we rocked you harder than Paul Heyman existence rocks Ryback.
Seriously.
Go back to the Cheetos. We're gonna leave you with, of course, Moses telling you what he and the TSK boys have for you this week on Click This.
Oh, boy almighty. Yeah, so, again, hopefully before you got onto this one, you had already catched our latest one. We did a Revolution review. These things drop late. It's not on purpose. I promise you it's not on purpose. It's just one of these things that just happens. I literally get through all the editing, and then I realize that the audio isn't lined up. Okay, it's just like, crap. So I got to go back and fix some stuff. But it's ready for y'all. It's going to, like I said, hopefully you caught it before you got this one. We do want to try to get another one in within the next coming weeks. We might jump on and maybe do like a whole overall, maybe like a Max Wrestling and TSK WrestleMania predictions gimmick. Maybe you never know. We'll figure that whole thing out. We will for sure be back for a review of Revolution of WrestleMania night 1 and night 2. So a lot to come from the boys. Other than that, I said last week that this lovely thing is going to get pushed for a week. It's not for a week. It's going to get pushed until next season, just so I can not only enjoy the game, but learn it better. I don't want to be, what do they call it, a wanker. I don't want to be a wanker. You know what I'm saying? That's not true. I know what I'm talking about already. At least I feel like I do. I just feels right. Start at the beginning of the season. So that's how we're going to roll with ATT. So we will be back next season with that one. Bolt Ranch stuff is coming, though, so don't be afraid. Yeah, Max Wrestling's still going to get flooded with sports stuff. I don't give a shit what you feel, how you like it or not. It's happening, okay? It's happening, all right? Other than that, there's a whole lot more stuff happening, but you got to be following us to figure it out. So you got to be hitting us up on the evil Twitter machine, Max Wrestling UK, Captain 512, SMR Podnet, all the fun stuff. Check us out the beautiful done website, maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere and anywhere. Get us up. I think we're getting close to 500 subs. We appreciate you on that. We're able to go live now, but we need more out of y'all. We need even more. The closer we get to 1,000 means the more cool shit we can bring to y'all. And trust me, more cool shit's on the way. Shit's on the way.
Speaking of YouTube, keep eating our shorts.
Hey.
That's it for this week. Join us next week for the 9th anniversary of Max Wrestling. You will hear my response to Chris Reid's challenge, plus a blockbuster tag team title rematch as the Cap and Cypher challenge Beer and Mo.
Bring it on.
You've been watching the Cap and Mo and Beer Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Hey.
Better cash, go get your ass back.
Gold's coming home, baby.
We shall see.